In 1970, something happened that terrified the most powerful nations on earth. A socialist didn't take power with a revolution. He won an election. His name was Salvador Allende, and what followed would change Latin America forever. Salvador Allende became president of Chile in 1970. He was a Marxist, a doctor, and the first socialist leader in Latin America to win power through open democratic elections. No tanks, no uprising, just ballots. For millions of Chileans, it felt like history finally turned in their favor. Allende promised something radical for the poor: land reform, free milk for children, public health care, and national control over Chile's copper, its most valuable resource. For the first time, the wealth of the country was supposed to serve its people. But outside Chile, powerful governments were watching. During the Cold War, Allende's victory sent shockwaves through Washington. The fear wasn't Chile, it was the example. If socialism could win peacefully, others might follow. The United States quietly began working to isolate Chile economically and politically. Loans were blocked, trade pressure increased, foreign investment vanished. Chile's economy began to suffocate. At home, Chile became deeply divided. Shortages grew, inflation exploded, strikes paralyzed entire industries. Conservative parties, business leaders, and media outlets painted Allende as the man destroying the nation. Supporters filled the streets to defend him. Opponents filled the streets demanding his removal. Chile was breaking in two. Inside the military, unrest was growing. Plots formed, commanders were replaced, trust between the government and the armed forces collapsed. Allende knew a coup was coming, but he refused to abandon democracy to save himself. He believed the Constitution would protect Chile. On September 11, 1973, the Chilean military moved. Tanks surrounded the capital. Fighter jets bombed the presidential palace. Inside La Moneda, Salvador Allende made his final radio address to the nation. He refused to resign. He said history would judge the betrayal. By the end of that day, Allende was dead. The military took control. General Augusto Pinochet became the new ruler of Chile. What followed was not stability, it was terror. Thousands were arrested, tortured, disappeared, executed. Stadiums became prisons. Chile's democracy was erased almost overnight. Salvador Allende was not removed by voters. He was removed by force. His presidency became one of the most controversial and studied events of the 20th century because it asked a dangerous question. What happens when a people choose a future the world's superpowers refuse to accept? Salvador Allende tried to prove that socialism could be built without violence. Instead, his removal showed how fragile democracy becomes when it threatens empire. And Chile paid the price for decades. If you value powerful stories of resistance and independence, subscribe to Histent, where forgotten history fights back.